And speaking of future seasons, let's take a look at our season today. We've played a couple of friendlies, and that's all we've played, trying to get a read on our team and the roster and stuff like that. So we will go through the roster a little bit. We're going to start with, of course, the thing that everybody wants to see, which is our incoming freshman class, a.k.a. the class of 2003. Right here, they're already highlighted. These are our recruits for next season. They're not going to be playing with us this season. There are recruits that we've been able to go out and get to commit to the Air Force Academy. I believe there are 12 recruits. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 recruits. So we've recruited one more than we have scholarships for. So, maybe one of these guys is a walk-on, although they all have a lot of potential. So we'll have to see what's going on with this extra scholarship. Somebody here is paying their way. Well, I don't think you have to pay your way to the Air Force Academy no matter what. So are scholarships really that important? I don't know. But anyway, we're calling them scholarship and non-scholarship players because that's how it is. Anyway, our top recruit. It's tough to judge. It's really between two guys in terms of our star rating. The first guy is, normally I would pronounce this Joachim Janssen, but I don't know. I've heard it also pronounced Joachim, right? There's a famous basketball player, Joachim. Anyway, Janssen from Sweden. He's capped at the under-19 level for Sweden. So this guy, he's on the radar internationally. Now, he's a little guy at the right wing. He's only 5'2". Not a lot of strength, not a lot of jumping reach. This guy is not going to be getting a lot of aerials along the way, but he does have some pace. He does have some skill out there on the wing. He's a great team player. He's got a lot of flair with the ball. I mean, when you're that small, you got to do something. And what he can do is he can make things happen with the ball at his feet. He's got some technique, some first touch, crossing, dribbling, passing. He's a playmaker out on the wing. So he's a very, very interesting recruit, an international recruit coming in to play for the Air Force Academy. You don't see that every day. Then here is our other guy, 3 stars, Dor Cohen, 17 years old. He's very, very reminiscent of Elbum. He's 5'11", the same size. He's a strong, fit kid. Very much like Elbum was. He's a target man type of dude. He's a leader on and off the field. He's got great heading, first touch, corners. Right? He's got a lot of the same abilities, same potential that Elbum had. So, it could be a future team leader in the making right here with Dor Cohen coming in. Some of our other top recruits, Luis Angel Garcia, midfielder, can play all over the place. Decent physicals. Again, a little guy, not particularly strong, but he's very strong mentally. He's got some good technicals, the passing, dribbling, corners. We seem to be getting a lot of guys who fit this mold of being quick and skilled with some pretty good mental attributes. It just seems to be the kind of guys we recruit. Must be something about Air Force Academy. Now, a guy we really need, Kenneth Bobbitt. Right now, we're very low in terms of goalkeepers, in terms of quality goalkeepers. We got one. We got one quality goalkeeper, and we got a bunch of guys who I do not want to put in the game. So this guy, Babbitt, he's going to be automatically our number 2 choice next year when he comes in. But he's 6'1", not the tallest guy, not great with the aerials, but he's got a lot of speed and athletic ability, great decision maker, terrific shot stopper. So we'll see. He's probably not going to be our top choice until our current guy graduates, but as soon as he steps on campus, he's going to be our number 2 choice without a doubt. We got some midfielders to deal with here. Forrest Martin, advanced midfielder, but he can play a couple different places. Not the fastest guy in the world, but again, another guy with flair, another playmaker, guy with good touch, got very good at the ball at his feet. Let's see who else. Andrew Kamara, striker. We got just got a plethora of good strikers. Bigger guy, 6'1", again, strong, good jumping reach, good heading, free kick, first touch. He's very brave, very, very aggressive. So we're sort of bringing in this kind of striker too, guys who are just gritty and dirty up there at the striker position. We've already got several guys who are pretty strikers, guys who can, get the ball and score goals. Now this recruiting class, we focused on maybe some guys who can do some dirty work. We've got a third striker in the group, Luca Carsani. Sure. Anyway, he's pretty good physically, except for his strength. This guy needs to get in the weight room a lot. But he's more of the poacher type, off the ball, finishing, dribbling. So we'll see what he does. He's got great acceleration. So he's one of the pretty guys. He's one of the guys who you give him the ball only when you want him to score. But that's fine. We need those kind of guys too. Let's see. Anybody else who really sticks out on this list? Not sure. I mean, those are really the top guys. We also have Cameron Wynn, sort of a versatile guy, can play, on the wing, can play center mid, 18 years old, good physicals, teamwork, first touch. He's got some work to do to make the starting team, but, he's got some potential. Let's see, Bobby Calvert at the left wing. We're desperately low on left wingers, so this is another guy who's going to be in the rotation as soon as he steps on campus. He's a youngster, only 17 years old, but tremendous speed. He's aggressive, good off the ball. His technicals need some work, but you know what? He's okay. Neil Moore, another versatile guy, can play right wing or striker. Another guy with some quickness, leadership. You need that first touch finishing. Goal scorer type guy, Nikolai Propadalo. Sure. Canadian. He's got that dual citizenship going on. He's not a quick guy, but he is an incredibly good teammate. 19 teamwork, 16 aggression, 15 determination, work rate. This guy is Mr. Intangibles. He's also a very solid tackler in the midfield. So, one of those defensive options that you need in the midfield. And then finally, I guess to wrap it up, Jesus Zaragoza, right defender, Mexican heritage. Not the fastest guy in the world, but 6'1", good jumping reach, solid defender. He can tackle, but he's got a lot of work to do on his marking and heading. His intangibles are pretty good. Determination, aggression, work rate, that kind of stuff. So there you go. Another pretty decent recruiting class. We can definitely work with these guys in the seasons to come. The rest of the guys you should be fairly familiar with. We do have our next class, our freshman class. These are the guys who didn't play last year because they were just recruits, but now they're going to be in the team, the class of 2002. Currently, we only have one guy, one freshman is going to be starting with us. That's going to be Mick Day at the left wing. Like I said, we're incredibly thin at left wing. We essentially only have two guys who can play there. Mick Day is going to get the start, and we'll see how he does, but he's an incredibly quick player. Again, he's another small winger, not very strong. He's got some skills, some abilities, but he's not really what we want starting on this team, especially if this team has championship aspirations, which it does. But he's going to do the best he can. You got Danny Hunter, left back. He's not starting, but he's going to be in the mix. Great physicals, very brave, decent tackler. But again, he's just a freshman, so we don't necessarily want him starting. Sean Morris, our top recruit last year, or one of our top recruits last year. Midfielder, very versatile. I think this guy's going to be in the he's going to be in the rotation at several positions because he can play on that left-hand side. He can play right, he can play center. He's going to fill in a lot of positions for us. He needs to get better physically. His strength and stuff is just not great, but he is a good tackler, good passer. He's got some skills. And then, of course, Andy Rock, we saw some of him last year. Wait, he's not a freshman. He's a sophomore. Is there anybody else that we missed? Mitchell Trevino might be our backup keeper this year, but oh, lordy, we do not want this guy in the nets. 10 reflexes. He's eccentric. I guess that's something. He's agile. So maybe he can cause some consternation for some people trying to score on him. But, we don't want to contemplate going through a season with him as goalkeeper. So he's not even registered currently. He's not on scholarship. But if we have an injury, we'll bring him in. He's currently injured. So, the other injury, the big injury here is Alan Laughlin. This is a guy who we definitely want to play. But he's sustained a bit of an injury in the preseason. Look at this guy. He is quick, super quick, and agile. He can score goals. He's got good first touch. This is a guy we can get in the game and he can do some damage. But he's got currently the only major injury on the team. He'll be out for 2 to 4 months. So this season is probably going to be a wash. At least the spring season is going to be a wash for him. And we move up to the core of our team, which is the sophomore class. We've got, 7 starters in the sophomore class. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 starters, yeah. Including, of course, Lewis Willis. We know all about him, the goal scorer extraordinaire. We've got our goalkeeper, Guillermo Lopez, who started 50-50 last year, but he's going to be our number 1 goalkeeper unquestionably this season. He's just the best we've got by far. No questions there. Vargas is in the midfield. His position is challenged. We've got several young midfielders who are going to challenge this guy. So, he's got to watch his ratings, basically, and his production. If he doesn't produce, he's getting replaced. Ken Hunley on the right-hand side played well last year. He needs a little bit more production from his position as well. He's decent. He's got some quickness. He's probably going to be our free kick taker this year. We'll see about that, but he's a guy who can pass out on the wings and he can play center mid. He can do a lot of different stuff. Anyway, those are our 2 midfielders. They've got Garcia sort of breathing down their necks a little bit. He's an option at midfield. We've got a few other options on defense. Of course, we got Billy Davis coming back. He should be back for an all-conference level season. Hopefully, an all-American level season if we can get that out of him. He's probably going to be teamed up with Kudumbana, but that's not set in stone either. We got a lot of young defenders who are going to challenge Kudumbana as well. Obina Okoro is going to step into that second striker position, at least for now. He's our false 9, in case you forgot. So he gives us a little different look out there. But he's been improving over the offseason. His determination has gone up. His personality has improved. He's going to get a bigger role this year, so he's sort of stepping up to the challenge. We can also move him out to left wing if necessary, because we do have a lot of strikers on this team. Let's see. Then we go up to the junior squad, which would be the class of 2000. Yes. Sure. Small class of 2000. Not a lot of guys here. Some of these guys were redshirted, so they're up here in the class of 2001 because they were redshirted. But we've got Guillermo Ponce, who's going to play this year at right wing. He was, it's if our other guys don't produce, we're going to put Ponce in there, see what he can do. He does have the speed to make a difference. Good dribbler, good passer. He's basically the same as everybody else who plays out on the wing, so they're kind of interchangeable in that way. So if the other guys don't produce, we're going to toss him in there. Palotti, he was a reserve last year. He'll probably continue to be a reserve this year, but he is pretty decent. So if we have any injuries or anything like that, he'll be playing some. David Nicholson is another guy who's fighting for that backup goalkeeper position. I mean, get out of here. I don't want this guy in goal. Nothing against you. I'm glad you're here in the program. but we don't want to rely on that guy. Graham Shepard is going to be starting at right back. He started every game last season, or just about every game last season at right back. It's not really a lot of challengers for his position. There are a couple, so if he doesn't play really well, we can try out some other guys there. I think that's about it for the junior class. Yeah, Robbie Thomas, he's an interesting guy. He's got a scholarship this year, I do believe. Yeah, he does have a scholarship this year. He didn't have a scholarship last year. But he's a big guy, 6'5", 17 jumping reach. It's just his problem is his technicals are not that great. Only 8 heading, 8 finishing. That's not really going to cut it, especially with the competition we have at striker. But if we need a big guy to throw in front of the goal, he's our man. And then we have our senior class, which is just a mere 3 guys. Garza, Walker, and Milanakis. Garza, right winger, started most of the season last year. 14 pace, 16 acceleration. Pretty good. He's probably going to be our starter at right wing. Like I said, he might share some time if he doesn't produce, if he doesn't improve. He's still 2.5 stars. He needs to put on some improvement. He is unambitious. That's a problem. For a senior to be unambitious, not super happy about that. Milanakis is going to be starting at left back. There's a lot of competition for left back. He's basically got the job because he's a senior. If he doesn't do it, we got plenty of youngsters who can go in there at left back. But currently, he's decent enough physically. Pretty good technically, or pretty good mentally, I mean. He's a good tackler technically. He's kind of average otherwise, but he was voted vice captain. So we're giving him a shot to start at left back. And then Adam Walker, he's earned a scholarship this year as a senior. He's a total reserve defender, 16 jumping reach, 6'2", good tackler. But again, he's not a guy we're going to rely on, just a guy who's there to give depth. So there we go. There is the roster. This video's probably gone on much longer than I intended. This year, the only problems we have this year, honestly, is our board. The Commandant. The Commandant has come through with some brutal asks for us this year. He wants us to finish top 2 in Division 1 soccer. Finish in the top 4 in the other Division 1 soccer, which I assume is... I forgot what that was. But anyway, he wants us to finish top 4 there. And then in our non-conference season, he wants us to finish top 2 again. And then for the spring season, finish in the top 2, which again is a tough ask. And then the only thing he doesn't really care about, for some reason, is the Western Athletic Conference, where he just says finish top half, whatever, I don't care. So the Commandant, I don't know if he's up for a promotion or something. I don't know if it's his contract year. But he's expecting Air Force to be one of the top 4 teams in the nation. So we got some work to do. We can have no mistakes this season. We did get extra coaching staff. We have improved our coaching staff a little bit. We are expanding the ground, which means we've got a new playing surface, a new playing field. We're going to be playing at Weidner Field in... it is close by. It is in Colorado Springs. It's the home of the Colorado Springs Academy. So, this looks like a really good academy team. This is a really nice academy field. I've seen, professional USL teams that don't have fields this good. So we're happy to play here, but our Air Force Stadium is being upgraded. So we're going to be playing here for at least the spring season. And we'll see if we can get back into Air Force Field in the fall season. But yeah, that's a 3,500 all-seater, so it's even bigger than our stadium. I can't believe what a good stadium these guys have. Who are these guys? Who are they related to? So they're in a U.S. developmental Frontier Division. So they're a developmental club. Does it say who they're affiliated with, or if they're affiliated? I assume they might be affiliated with the Rapids or something like that. Colorado Springs. League, key employees. No, info. Colorado Springs Academy, amateur. Basic youth recruitment, basic faculty. It doesn't say that I can see. Is there a overview? Affiliated clubs. There we go. Nope. A senior affiliate is Colorado Springs Switchbacks, who are a USL championship side. Okay. Now it's starting to make sense. So the championship division is right below the MLS division. That's how that sort of works. It works similar to what it works in other places around the world. Go figure, right? USL 2, USL 1, USL Championship, and then Major League Soccer. So, yeah, that makes more sense. They're one of the top teams in Colorado, so they've got a good academy. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Is there anything else we need to look at? I don't think so. We have played a couple of friendlies to get the ball rolling against local amateur clubs and stuff like that, and we've trounced them 4-0, 5-0, 5-0, 7-0. So it's been, almost pointless to play those guys, but we have gotten a little bit of sharpness, a little bit of match fitness going into the spring season. We got an interesting lineup: Loyola of Chicago, Sacramento State, Temple University, Virginia, Furman, Manhattan, and then we round out the spring season against Penn State. So, doesn't look like a tough spring season, but these things can be deceiving. So we'll come back and give you a wrap-up of the spring season and look at the ups and downs, see who's played, see who's done well, all that kind of stuff. So that'll be our next episode. Until then, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.